Hello everyone, it's Havian again, and more Freedom was, but this time I'm going to talk about the crafting system and the upgrading system in the game. I don't like it. It's a bit too overly complicated for what it does, but I don't know, it's like, it would be really good if it wasn't so random, if there wasn't so much range involved or RNG involved. There's way too much of it, way too much. I get the whole upgrading with material thing, but when you throw in random modules that can appear on your gear at any given time when you're trying to add other things, it's a bit much. But I'll take you through the basics of crafting, and what I'll do is on my blog I'll put up some of the more advanced guides that they have for it, that a lot of people have made on the internet, so I'll show you those things. I'll put links to those on my blog. I don't want to steal these people's thunder. They put a lot of work into finding out the information. But I'll just go over the weapon that I've been working on, and I showed you in my previous video that I had some other weapons, like, done those totally wrong. But I'll show you my new weapon that I've started working on and how far I've got with it. But for now, let me just take you through the different crafting systems you actually have in facility measurement. So I've got all of my facilities leveled up to 8 now. Well, apart from this one, the max you can go with the Augmentation is 5, but the rest are level 8. I'll start off with the weapons, because the other ones are pretty simple, the munitions and medical one. But for weapons, there's a little bit going for it. So manufacturing weapons, you would go here to make weapons. This in itself is pretty self-explanatory. You find the weapon you actually want to make, and you see the materials that it actually needs. There you go. Once you've got those, then you can start creating that. Do I want to make anything? Might as well. Let me find a weapon that I actually want, and then I'll make that one. What do I want to make? I'm planning on making where is it? I'm planning on making another dagger, or another light hawk shadow. Here we go. So I'm planning on making another one of these. Let's see if I get lucky and make a level 8 one. So I'm gonna throw one of those in here. Matter of fact, let me throw a hawk shadow into 2 of them. Just to see what I can get. See if I can get a rarity 8 one. So when you are making weapons, once they've finished being created, they can be a number of different rarities, and the different rarities give them extra module slots. So it goes from 1 to 8, and the higher the rarity, then the higher the module slots. But the rarity itself doesn't really affect the attack power. It's all going to be the amount of slots that you can actually get on the weapon. So I'm going to leave those 2 to cook. Let me go ahead and open this. Okay, so upgrading weapons. If you've got a weapon that you actually have or that you actually want to upgrade, you go into this setting. So these 2 I can't upgrade at the moment because they're grayed out, and that means that I don't have enough materials to actually upgrade those ones. But this weapon here, this one is showing white, so I do have the materials for it. I'm probably not gonna upgrade it, but I'll just go into the menu to show you what you do. So you can the same as creating a weapon, it's gonna be the same sort of layout for upgrading the weapon as well. If you've got the right amount of materials, you just select them. It'll tell you how much you need and how much you actually own at the moment. You just select it, and then it will start upgrading. And once it's upgraded, it will have increased stats. But I'll go ahead and I'll show you what you can actually see. So it shows you how much attack you'll increase by, the level. It will tell you the different things that will increase on the weapon after your upgrade. So it does let you know beforehand. So your modules do get carried over. The only things that will change will be the things that are on the first screen generally. Okay. Let's not make that, or let's not upgrade that. So modifying weapons. This is the RNG part. This is the bit that's just long. So with the modules, or with the modifying weapons, you can change the elements on the weapons. You can change the there's something in the game called growth rate or growth type. I will go into that when I'm talking about my weapon, but it's just you can transfer that as well. But I'd say that is really advanced stuff that will be in the guide that I'll show you guys, or that I'll link on my blog. So that's you can transfer growth rates, you can transfer elements, and you can transfer modules as well. So the modules you're going to see here, so that is the first weapon I made. I wish I did not waste a few of the things on these. But actually, when I make my final weapon, I'm going to use these weapons for scraps, and I'm going to transfer the modules that they have on there. But when you are actually creating something, so I'm going to go ahead and pick this for instance. So I want to upgrade this. So I've got one module in there that is power up L. I'm going to find another weapon that has modules that I want to transfer as well. So let's say I want to transfer leg component damage up, XL. So there's a chance. Let me make that clear. There is a chance that both of those will transfer, or both of these things will transfer onto the final weapon, which will be the easy Batrac K1. The first weapon that you put in there is going to be the one that you want to transfer the modules onto. So if I pick this weapon here, the Murasame, that will mean that I want to transfer those modules onto the first weapon. But in the end, you can either end up with having all the modules you want, or you can end up having nothing, unless you pick certain resources that can influence what you want to keep. So you've got ones like selenium that will actually, so it allows free modules with positive effects to be acquired from the weapon used for parts. So the modules that are on the Murasame will get transferred over, up to 3 of them. There are items that you can find that will increase that up to 5 for the main weapon. So you can hold on to 5 modules from the main weapon. But the game likes to throw in random modules. So depending on the rarity of your weapon, it will tell you how. There's like a list on the guide that I'll show you. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to this. It's just so complicated. Each weapon, you have a set amount of modules you're allowed to carry over, and then there's a set amount of modules that the game will throw in there as random. So you'll probably need to save the game and back it up to PSN Plus or back it up to your PC before you do a lot of heavy duty modulating or modifying, because you're gonna need to reload if you get bad rolls. And you're just gonna need to keep doing that. But make sure you do that before you even start modifying the weapons. Because once you've set the weapon to, let's say, once you've set it to modify it to cook, then all of the modules you're gonna get have already been set. So once the time is up, you're gonna get the same output all the time. So make sure you say before you start the modification and not before it's just about to come out. Because once you've let me say if I pick this, let's say if I picked this weapon and then I said no, once you confirm, that's it. Your modules have been set. The game's already calculated which modules it wants to put into the weapon, and you can't change that past this point. So make sure you say beforehand. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to waste those components. Not at all. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. But yeah, for transferring elements, you can find the elements that are actually on the weapons you want to transfer. So generally, you get about, for every 10 element points, you get 2. Or you'll get 2 points that transfer over. I can't remember how much percentage you actually transfer in total. But for the whole of it, you get probably roughly around 30% of the element transfers over. So if I was to transfer this one, for instance, I'd get about 6 points that transfer over into the final weapon, or 6 ice points that will transfer over into the final weapon. You won't get 30, so it does limit you a bit. You're going to need to, if you want to add elements to a weapon, you're going to need to pump them up. You're going to need to pump them up full of different elements or the element that you want to transfer over. But it can take a while because every single time that you do a modification or an enhancement to your weapon, it takes real world time. You can decrease this time by using citizen support, and using citizen support I can't do it in that one. Let me go to one that's continuing at the moment. So if you use citizen support, you can add some of these guys that will do different things. So for your munitions, for instance, it will give you, you'll have people that can increase the rare items you get. You'll have ones that lower the time. You have ones that give different things, or ones that are specifically made to get certain items. For a lot of the other things, for like weapon crafting, you'll have ones that reduce the amount of time the amount of time that it takes to craft something by quite a bit actually. Let's see, medical facility guy. I go to category and it breaks things down a lot easier. So at the top ones are just going to be like time ones, and below it'll be medical, then under that munitions, and under that you'll find ones that just do specific things. Like triple EXP for the facility. I'd never use that. I'd probably save that up. I'd maybe use that for augmentations, because that one takes a long time to actually make stuff. Augmentations, they can take up to like 35 minutes at the moment. And that can take a while if you want to actually just max it out really quickly. But you'll find, I'll show you where you can get these guys, the 10-minute ones, because you can get them pretty quickly while you're waiting for some of the other things to make. And you'll be using these quite frequently when modifying. Because modifications take about 13 minutes. So you'd want to use one of these just to shave a bit of time off. There are other missions that give you some of the higher ones, but this one just seems to... I can finish that mission in about 3 minutes, so it's pretty good. Another thing about modifications is the different things you can actually use. I didn't really go too much into that, but let me give it a try. Let me pick this one and pick this one, and then take a look through these. So the different things you can actually put onto your weapons. So you got generally these materials are going to add different modules to your weapons, or they have a better chance of adding modules that you want on there, or they're going to add the modules that you actually need onto it. So if you see one like this that says boost critical hits, this one I believe will add a critical hit chance X. No, this is going to be critical damage XL on the weapon. But if you add one of these, then the weapons themselves, there's a chance that the modules you actually have on those weapons that you want to transfer over won't transfer over, because you made for certain that you want this one to be on there instead, the critical hit one. It's complicated. I'm probably not even explaining it properly. It's because it is just so... It boggles my mind, man. There's just so much nonsense that you have to do with this crafting system. There's too much. But I'll show you the kind of weapon you can actually get when you put your all into it and you try and get your head around it, because you'll be rewarded for the effort. Take a long time, but you'll be rewarded for the effort. Okay, so that is basically weapons. Disassemble will break up the facility and give you a free space, but you don't want to be doing that. Oh, looks like my weapon's done. I'm going to wait until this one's done. But for now, I'm going to go into medical and munitions, because they both function pretty much the same. So I'm going to go ahead and open that one. So, manufacturing medical supplies. This basically seems to be based on the rarity of the items you actually use. The rarities of the items you actually use will change the items that you can actually obtain from the production. So you can see the production schedule on the right hand side at the moment. It tells you how many items you can actually get, and it tells you the items that will actually be obtained. So if I throw in some rare items, you may see that the production schedule will change. Oops, so there we go. So now I've used one rare 6 item. It's changed our production schedule totally. So I'm gonna just dump a ton of these in. And if you add items from different rarities, it may change it. And the more items you add, the more items you actually get out of it. So let me just dump in. Let me see if I've got any low level or low rarity stuff that I can throw in there as well, and see if that changes anything. I don't know what combinations will output what at the moment. Generally, when I'm doing it, I just find loads of weapons in the mission. Then I'll just throw them in there, and whatever I get, I get. I don't really care too much about it. If I'm running low on an item that I really want, then I'll go out of my way to actually find out how or what items I need to actually make that. But for now, I've just been jamming everything else in there, because I've been making pretty much lots of everything I need. I mean, look at this. Like, I'm getting tons of items. Tons. Just loads of random stuff. Because I haven't really focused on getting a certain thing. I've just been outputting anything and just getting enough of everything. But yeah, you can use weapons, you can use combat items, augmentation, you can use whatever you want in there. You're not restricted. Well, not that much. But you can see that this one, the projected output is 27 items, and it'll be of the things that are actually below. You can use citizen support to, like I said before, add extra items or to get specific things. So you can do that with this as well, but I'm not going to go ahead and do that. And munitions is going to function the exact same way. They both do the exact same thing. Depending on the rarity you actually use, or the different rarity of items you actually use in there, you'll get different things. So let me throw in some frag grenades since they're a low rarity at the moment. So allocate some. I'm gonna throw in. I'll throw in 5. Throw in 5 of those, and then I'll throw in a rare item and see what it does. Let's see. Okay, so I've got anti-abductor mine pluses. Interesting. Anti-personal mines. So it looks like that one gives me lots of mines. So let me see if I add in a lower rarity now and see if it changes anything. Okay, so now I switch to decoy mines, debilitators, Benkei. But yeah, if you mess around with it and you play around and see what kind of combinations will give you what, just let me know, because I have no clue. I just throw in whatever I want. Whatever I've got left over, I just dump it in there. Or if I've got any weapons that I don't need, I just dump it in there. I'm not too fussed about that output I actually get, because I found that during the game I haven't really used too many items, to be honest. So I haven't really had much of a need for it. The only things I really use are the things that bring you back to life. You only get 2 of them during the mission, but they can be pretty useful. I've only started using them after like during Code 8 missions. That's generally when I've been using those, and the HP items. I've only been really using those 2 items during the whole game, so I'm not too fussed about what I actually get in terms of crafting them. So yeah, I'm gonna check the augmentation now. So these are pretty straightforward. You just see the augmentation that you actually want to make, and then you see the items actually need to make it. It's very straightforward. There's nothing fancy to them. That's what you're gonna do. So you go out, you find the items you want, and then you make them. That's pretty much it. So I'm just gonna flick through it so you can actually take a look and see the different kinds of augmentations you can get from max level 1. And there you go. There you go. Discount voucher, I need to get that. I want to see how much of a discount you actually get. But it's good to eventually I'll own every single one of these, just so I can make different loadouts for different situations. Right now, all I do is before missions I switch out my different weapons and my different augmentations depending on what I'm doing. But it would be easier if I just had different loadouts for different situations rather than having to manually switch them all the time. Okay, now let me take a look and see what my facilities have spat out. A rank 5, but what modules did I get? That sucks. Alright, that's next. Oh, 6. That's okay. Power up S. Yeah, they're not great. They're not great. They're okay. Okay, so now let me show you the kind of weapon I've been working on. These are the kind of things you can make if you follow some of the guys that are out there, and this isn't gonna be a case where you can just read a guide and do it. You're gonna have to do a lot of thinking for yourself and ways to get around different situations that you run into, because you're gonna run into a lot of things that the guys actually don't mention. Things like trying to get elements onto your weapons and trying to work out how many weapons you actually need so you don't go over a certain limit. Because once you've upgraded your weapon to level 5 and converted it into the advanced version, you can get 100 points to spend on various elements. What I've done with my weapon is I'll show it to you. So this is the weapon I've been working on. I told you I was going to be doing it. It was the Caliburn. So I got the advanced version of the Caliburn, which is the Excalibur, which is this one here. So what I've done is I wanted to get, so you have 100 points to spend on elements. So you can either pump all of those points into one element, or you can give it an even spread. At the moment, fire says 10, but that's basically because I've got a fire element down. Once I remove that, then it'll go back up to 25. But these are the modules I've actually got in there at the moment. So I've got power up L, power up XL, leg component damage XL, stagger damage up S. S I didn't really want in there, but it just popped up in there, so I thought, you know, I might as well keep it. Stagger damage up XL, critical chance up XL, critical damage up L, critical damage up XL, and clip size down. Since that one is grey, that means that one is for guns. All the blue ones are going to benefit the weapon you're using, and the red ones or the orange ones are going to be detrimental. So I'm going to remove the clip size down, I'm going to remove the fire element because I don't actually need them on there. The clip size can stay on there, I don't have to remove that one, but I just don't like the fact that it's there, so I'm going to get rid of it. So yeah, it took a lot of time to actually get those on there, but I did it. And this weapon is actually rarity 8, so it's the highest rarity you can actually get at the moment. And with all those modules you actually have on there, take a look at its critical chance, its critical multiplier, and its power at level 1. So that is the kind of raw damage you can get out of a weapon if you do the modules right. So it's got 856 power, and I haven't even upgraded it yet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into the upgrading screen, into facility management, and I'm gonna try and upgrade it once if I can, just so you can take a look at. Let's see. I'm not gonna upgrade it. I'm gonna show you how much you can get from upgrading it. Okay, so I've got the materials I need. So it'll boost with one upgrade. It will increase the power by 127, which is it's a pretty big boost for one level, and it'll increase the critical chance and critical multiplier. I'm gonna remove, before I start upgrading it, I want to remove that fire. I just don't like the fact that it is there. It's a tarnish. I'm gonna remove the fire down because it just makes it look bad. So yeah, what I was talking about, elements. You can spend 100 points. You can either put it all into one element if you just want a really beefy element or weapon, or you can spread it if you don't want to make too many weapons. That is what I've done with this one. I don't want to make too many weapons, so I just made one powerful weapon. My main point of this weapon is, I'll show you in the previous video, I wanted to make this because of its charge attack. I just want to keep enemies on the ground. So I made a weapon that can kind of keep enemies locked down, hopefully, if the stagger works as much as I hope it's going to work. So when enemies are on the ground, I'll drag them down. Once they're on the ground, I'll just do the spinning attack, break a few parts, hopefully keep them stunned, while other people just finish them off. That's the plan with this weapon. I'm going to need to do a bit more upgrading with it, but I'm getting there. I'm still at stage 1 with this weapon. I'll beef it up some more, but I want to get a Hawk Shadow with rarity 8 as well. I don't want to do this. I don't want to go through the same thing, but I feel like I'm gonna have to. I just want one of these for severing, and I want the modules that are on there going to be the ones that do more damage to specific parts of the enemies. I'm gonna get head damage on there, arm damage, just so I can pick apart their body parts a lot quicker, just so I can cut them up. So yeah, that is what I'm using at the moment. So the Hawk Shadow is level 4 and this one's only level 1. You can see the power difference already. The Excalibur is going to be the same power as the Hawk Shadow, but just increasing it by 1 level. And that damage, that is actually going to scale, because I believe the power XL and the power L, one is 20% and one is 30% extra power or extra damage. So yeah, it adds up. It'll stack. The higher it gets, the more damage will scale, because of the extra modules I've thrown on there. But that's only because of the modules, adding extra power on there. It's not because of the way it's actually made. But another thing I wanted to speak about is the whole weapon type thing, or the growth rate or growth type. So in the game, I don't even know how to explain this. It'll be in the guides that you can take a look, but in the game, when you actually create a weapon or when you find them, you'll notice that they have different power levels. Even if it's the same weapon, even if it's the same level, their power may be totally different. And depending on what number range that power actually is, it will determine its growth type. So you get some weapons that start off really weak, and then as they grow, they will get more powerful, and they will have the most power once they reach level 10. Then you'll get some weapons that start off really strong at the beginning, and then gradually they kind of peter off into the higher levels, and they end up being one of the weaker weapons once they reach level 10. So the ones that the general consensus is you'll want to aim for the weapons that are considered the late bloomers, so the ones that have a low attack power at the beginning, but have high damage output once they reach the maximum level, or once you've upgraded them to the max. But within the late bloomers themselves, there are different power levels in there as well. So you want to make sure that they are in the top of the late bloomer bracket. So at the moment, this weapon I have now is the highest you can get from the late bloomers, and it's got the highest power modules in there at the moment. So I'd say it's a good weapon. I've beefed it. I've beefed it up. Look at it shining. I just need to get to level 10 now, so it can really shine. I need to get rid of that damn fire module. So yeah, What you want to, the general thing is there's weapons, the weapon types or the weapon growth types are going to be late bloomer, which is going to be the ones that start off really weak and then get really powerful at the end. Then you have ones that are random. I don't really know too much about the random ones. Maybe I think the random stats, their stats are just random. The stats are random. There's no real growth rate to them. Then you have normal after that, which are going to be your average growth rate. And then after that, you're going to have the early bloomers, the ones that start off powerful and get really weak. As I said before, if you really want a powerful weapon, and that is your main aim for the late bloomers. That will be all explained in the guide. There's even a calculator in some of the guides it's a Japanese calculator. So you're going to have to use Google Translate just to see which weapon you actually want, and then convert it back to Japanese just so the calculator can work, and it'll tell you. What you'll do is you'll input the power level of the weapon you found, or the one that you created, and it will tell you how it will grow as it progresses up to 10 levels. So it'll give you a vague idea of, let's say you started with a weapon that had 570 attack, it will tell you how much attack it will get each level as you increase it, up until 10. And it will tell you its growth type as well, and it'll give you an option to add in modules as well, because you need to factor in the modules you have attached to the weapon if you're using the calculator, because some modules may affect it may confuse you when you're looking at trying to find the growth rate, because it'll talk about a module even though oh my god, I'm confusing myself. So keep an eye on the modules, factor in the modules when you're looking at growth rates. Don't get confused. I'm confusing myself. This is confusing. Weapons are confusing. Everything's confusing. Ugh. But yeah, I hope. Just take a look at my blog, and I'll put in the stuff. I'll try and break it down as simply as I can. And I'll throw in the links to the other guides as well. Because me just talking right now, I'm just rambling. So what I will do right now is, man, I don't have any guns on. So this may not work as well as I want, but I gave my gun to my accessory. She's using my gun at the moment. She'll probably do a better job with it than I would, because she's got better aim. Eventually I'm going to just use her as my gun, and I'm going to go full melee. I'm going to have her follow me around and covering me on everything I do, but I'll just have her doing range attacks. But what I'll do is I'm going to show you the mission where I get the 10-minute people, and then I'll show you a mission where I go to farm weapons. So if I want to find loads of weapons that have loads of modules on them, I'll show you the mission I actually do to get that. So for the mission, which one is it? It's not that one. It's this one here. So this is the one where I go and get my 10-minute people, where I go and kidnap people. It's really quick and easy to do. Let's do it. Oh man, that was a mouthful. That is too much, man. That is way too much. I can't even. This game, I don't even. Why did they put such a confusing crafting system in there? I don't understand. I thought Phantasy Star Online 2 was bad with Doo-Doo. But man, I'd rather take his crafting after this. Because boy, this is too much randomness. Here's the 10-minute people, the ones that will reduce your crafting time down by 10 minutes. What you want to do is rush out, kill these two people that are going to try and save this person. So bad killing people because they want to save someone. It'd be so much easier if I didn't give away my gun. And then you want to command everyone to protect the citizens. And then you can just go and pick up whatever you want, because they are pretty much going to do all the work for you now. They're going to go and save everyone and get you the points. This will be over in about 3 minutes. So generally you can do this in between crafting stuff if you've got a little bit of downtime, just so you can get some of your citizens back. That can reduce the time for crafting. And you can find some rare items here as well. You can see that I've done this plenty of times because I already know where everything is. So what you need to do is now just cover everyone and kill any of the guys that you see trying to take people back to their camp. And you can pick up a few weapons here and there. Look, I'm not even saving anyone, they're doing all the work. I'm sure there was one more, there we go. Yes, I got my harvest. Yep, now they're going to do all the work. I'm just going to leave them to finish up. I don't know where my accessory's gone. She's meant to be following me. Yeah, you stick with me. You be my gun. Ah, they grenaded me. Alright, these guys, they're getting annoying. I was kind of going to leave them, but... Oh, they got my arm. But there we go. That mission is over. Usually you can get one or four of the ones that cut down 10 minutes crafting time. So let's see how much they actually give me in this one. What did I get? What did I get? Citizen. So I got one that decreases time by, I think that's medical facility. So I've only got medical, munitions, and here we go. So you got one. I think this is the 5-minute one. Didn't get any this time. But yeah, this is the mission you'll do if you want to just stack up on them. I've got way too many of these people that reduce the time by 5 minutes. I've got like 70 of them from doing this mission. There is another mission you can actually do that gives you more, and some of the higher level ones. But I generally do this one if I've got like 3 or 4 minutes to spare. And what I want to show you now... Wait a second, why am I in my room? Why did you send me back to my room? So what I'm going to do now is, I'm going to do one of the missions where you can actually farm items. So that one is going to be this one here, 7-3. So this is the mission I'll do if I just want to gather some items together. And it's going to be pretty much the same as the previous mission in terms of ordering your teammates to do something. See, I should have equipped a gun. It would have been so much easier in this mission. Gave it to my partner. I need to just suck it up and get used to using a heavy weapon. Because that's what I'm going to be using from now on. Heavy weapon and the Hawk Shadow. Okay. Beef everyone up. And then we're good. So there's a certain location in this mission that you want to get to, but at the moment I'm just gonna run straight forward and just finish off some of the guys. Generally they're gonna do a lot of the work. These ones, they're not gonna drop any weapons, so I'm gonna ignore those and just move on. Man, I need to get used to aiming with a greatsword. All right, now open the door. Come on. And then we're gonna get someone else coming in. And then we're gonna get someone else trying to run in. Ah. Should have done a side slash. So what you want to do is you want to try and get as close to the end of the mission as possible. You'll see where the exit door is. And that is the farming spot. That's the place you want to be. And I've noticed there's a lot of people that use the shotgun or the what's that weapon? There's like a shotgun that starts with B, Baraba or Basara or something like that. Everyone's been using that weapon, but I don't know, man. I didn't want to jump on that bandwagon. It does look a really powerful weapon. I've seen the video of the person wrecking the last boss with it. But I'm not really one to just follow trends. I'd like to try things out. Let me grab this. This part, I don't know how I'm gonna do it without her. Oh my gosh, this is not gonna be good. Okay, he's off. Take cover, get my HP back a little bit. Ooh, what was that? What just hit me? Through the wall. Alright, give me some juice. Alright, they took care of him. Generally, having your team to take care of all these people is a good idea, since they've all got ranged weapons. Let's see if I can actually aim right this time. Am I even standing in the right place? I'm not. Oh, that was fail. Yeah, it's gonna take some getting used to using this weapon. Okay, almost there. So this is the path you want to take. You want to go through this door on the side here. And then you'll get to the farming spot. I'm not going to stay there for the full amount of time that I usually would, because that would just be a waste of time, but I'll show you where you can go and generally what you should do. Oh, that was... Oh, he was behind me. Okay. Get me out. This is gonna get some... What am I doing? I've got a Hawk Shadow. Why am I just trying to use the Greatsword just because I've got it? Okay, I now need to wait for this door to open up. And then we're good. Then we found the spot we need to go to. Okay. The exit is there. What you want to do is you want to... Which room was it? Which room was my favorite room? No, it wasn't this room. I'm gonna go back a little bit. I'm gonna get everyone to follow me again. But you can already see the weapons are on the floor. Ah, this is my room. This is my favorite room. Here. I'm gonna wait for everyone to catch up. And generally what you want to do is you want to keep them in the middle-ish area. Or this is where I found. There's probably going to be better spots. But these are my spots so far. Hey, get over her. I can't stand this woman. She runs off on her own all the time. Get back here. Unless you do commands, when you've got them running on their free will, she just runs off. Alright, I'm gonna have to switch him to cover me. Just so she sticks with me. Okay, so I'm gonna pull them over to the middle area here, so they're behind that area. And then I'm gonna get them to stand by and counter. And then all I'm gonna do is pick up the weapons. That is all I'm going to do. I'm going to keep my little accessory following me around, and these guys are going to pick everyone off as they run into the room. And I can just collect the weapons. Every now and then, if the HP gets low, just switch them back to thinking for themselves, and they'll heal each other and then go back into the action. You can, by the end of this, you can end up with like 30, 40 weapons. Once your time gets down to like a minute, just run for the exit and you're good. Don't worry about the rank that you get at the end. This is purely just for farming weapons. Yep, I'm just gonna keep picking up the weapons. They're all mine. The enemies will just keep running in and dying. And you can just collect. At the end of this, I haven't received any Rarity 8 weapons yet, but I've received quite a few Rarity 7 items from here. With really good modules on them. So you can use this to farm up your modules. So the HP is running a little bit low, so I'm going to switch. Fire at will. Heal each other. Or you can just die. Alright. Yep, throw up a tree and then I'm going to switch them back to standby and counter. But yeah, if you find any better spots than this spot, just let me know. Or let each other know. Share your information. Let's see what we got out here. Okay, we've got some people running in now. Let them come. Sometimes you'll get every now and then you'll get like a tiny slow period. Then they'll come waving back in. They'll come waving. There we go, they're coming back. If you have a gun, or if I had a gun, it would be much easier because I could just stand in the middle of them and pick them off as they run through the doors. But I'm gonna wait for one more wave and I'm gonna head to the exit for the sake of time. Now I'll show you what kind of weapons I've collected so far. I've only been doing this for what, like standing in this area for about 5 minutes, and I'll show you what I've picked up so far. And I guess if you are one of those people that actually do want to upgrade that shotgun, you can find quite a few of them. Quite a few of them here actually. If you want to get some high ranked ones, or a chance at a Rarity 8 or a Rarity 7 one. Just kind of wish they all dropped Hawk Shadows instead of those Murasamu daggers. Then maybe I could have used them too. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and tell these guys to cover me. I'm gonna head to the exit now. Not gonna bother trying to pick those ones up. Oh, that was bad. Okay, let's see the weapons I got. And the modules. Okay, so I got two Rarity 6s, but what kind of modules did I get on those? Clip size M, accuracy XL, if that's your thing. Headshot damage L, power L. More accuracies. Health absorption. That's only really effective if you've got a weapon that actually has health absorb. Yeah, nothing too amazing, but when I usually have loads of weapons like this, I usually do, like I said before, I just dump them into my munitions or medical areas and I just have them craft loads, and I just craft loads of random stuff and I take what I get. That's generally how I do things. No fuss. But yes, I will put all of the nonsense that I found so far about crafting into my blog. You guys can take a look. If what I said was a mess, then you can check that, because they explain it a lot better. But yeah, expect a lot of work if you're going to try and go down the road for a really powerful weapon. You can always take the middle ground and go for something that's not quite as powerful, but a lot easier to maintain and a lot easier to do. You don't have to go as crazy as Rarity 8. There's no real reason for it, because a lot of the modules, or some of the modules on my ones, are going to be empty slots. But I don't want to run the risk of trying to re-roll some of the stuff and getting trash. But yeah, now that I've got that, to be honest, trying to figure out this crafting stuff really delayed my videos, because I wanted to make a few more videos, but this one, trying to get my head around this, was just taking too much time. But now that I've got that out of the way, I can focus on making stuff. But until I decide to make stuff, I'll see you around.